Hey guys, welcome back. It's Missy, and today we're going to talk about the loneliness that a lot of us endure when we are in a relationship, when we have family members, when we're around narcissistic type people. This is a loneliness you can only understand when you are around narcissistic people, because people misunderstand. They think, you have a mom, you have a dad, you have family members, you're in a relationship, you can't possibly be lonely, you have people that love you. But no, it's so complex, and there's such misunderstanding when you have these types of people in your life that most people don't understand when they don't have the education or understand narcissists. When you have a narcissist in your life, you see a side to them that most of the general population does not see. So you're the one that deals with that verbal abuse. You're the one that deals with the physical and sexual assault. You're the one that deals with the emotional abuse that a lot of people don't understand and are uneducated when it comes to emotional abuse. And the narcissist, they don't show that to the outside world. They have this certain type of image they put out in the world, and that's what the world sees. So if you ever go to someone and express something's happening, they're less likely to believe it because they have the certain image of how they are, and they're like, no, that's not possible that they could be like that, because they're so kind and sweet and what have you. So there's that aspect of the loneliness and the gaslighting you deal with. And not only that, but there's so many situations that you'll deal with when it comes to narcissistic abuse and dealing with narcissists that are not so black and white. It's not as simple as they hit me or they called me a piece of shit. There's middle ground, gray areas. I don't even know if I want to call it gray areas, but there's middle areas of abuse that don't seem extreme or bad if you don't understand the deep psychological damage it can cause. Some of the things you'll deal with are so sneaky, or they're things that build upon things, and they're these subtle types of abuses that chip away at your psyche. And some of these things they can, because it's so manipulative, it can be seen as a certain way that it's not. For instance, when a narcissist is being controlling and manipulative, they will do things that make them seem caring. Let's say that you want to go and see your friends, and the narcissist continues to tell you that they care and love you so much, and they think these people are bad for you, even though there's no proof that these people are bad for you. They just don't want you to go out with others. They want to isolate you. They make it appear that they're loving and they're caring. So when you tell this situation of like, yeah, they don't really want me to see my friends because they feel like they're bad for me, and they say they're just doing it to be caring. Someone that's uneducated and doesn't understand manipulation, they'll be like, wow, it's clear that they really care and love you and they just want the best for you. So it's subtle things like that where when you explain a situation to someone, even as simple as you had mentioned that you were feeling disappointed about something, or even as simple as crossing of boundaries, where you are telling someone about how your parent always tells you what to do when you've told them that you'd rather them not tell you what to do and you'd rather do things on your own. Someone that doesn't understand how unhealthy that is, they'll say, oh, your parents just loving you and caring about you and just doing the normal parent thing, just let them be your parent. That's your parent, they're not going to be around forever. When these situations happen, they don't understand how bad it can affect a person and their psyche and their confidence and their trust in themselves, and they don't understand the way that they say these things to you and how often they say these things. They don't understand that abuse, and so then the people around you are gaslighting you, and they're making you question yourself and if these things are really wrong, and that maybe you're not thinking things clearly, or maybe you're being selfish, or you're doing something in the wrong. Or people will tell you, this is normal stuff, it will work out, when it's not normal at all. It just sounds like it's normal, but they don't understand that it is completely different. And they don't understand how abuse has to do with how often something happens and the intent and how intense it happens. So then often these people will give you bad advice, or they'll, put the blame on you that you need to figure it out and maybe you're being too harsh. And so then you'll feel immediate shame rather, and then you'll sit there and just feel bad. And there may be parts of you that feel angry of like, just something doesn't feel right and nobody understands me and I feel so alone and I don't get it. Like, they're saying that it's normal, but it doesn't feel normal to me and it doesn't feel right and I don't feel good after these situations. So you're gaslighting the shit out of yourself, and there's this deep hole and emptiness and sadness and feeling invalidated and worthless and helpless and scared. The world doesn't get it and it causes you to feel so lonely. So you have the narcissist that doesn't acknowledge you, is gaslighting you, is making you feel crazy. And then you have the outside world that also is doing the same thing of not acknowledging you, not validating you, gaslighting you, making you feel crazy, and making it feel like it's all on you, it's all your fault. No matter what you do, you can't get out of the situation. You're not doing good enough. You're not trying hard enough. It's going to work itself out. And that is the worst advice. And there's another type of loneliness when you have narcissistic parents and you realize that your family is not normal. When you go in the outside world and you go to friends' houses and you see movies and you see things and you realize, hey, my parent isn't so normal. That can also create another type of loneliness because you're missing out on a good parent, guidance, a good role model, love, nurturing. You're missing out on all those things, and there's a lack of connection with your parent and you, and there's this disconnect, and it creates so much loneliness. Or there's also, in those family dynamics where there's favoritism, that also will create another type of loneliness where you see your siblings are favorited and you don't, and you feel so lonely and you don't understand why this is happening. So you put meaning behind it and you think, oh, it's me, I'm the problem. And then you welcome all of the more of those unhealthy dynamics where they don't put you first and they make you feel worthless, and then it deepens that feeling of loneliness. So it's a whole mind screw when it comes to dealing with these things, where it snowballs with all of this loneliness and feeling alone when you're dealing with these types of things. So what do? How do you overcome this loneliness? First thing I would say is, when you're explaining your situation, be careful who you explain your situation to and who you reach out to for support. So if you have someone that doesn't get it, is uneducated, don't even tell them these situations. Just, you'll have a different type of relationship. It doesn't mean you have to cut them out of your life just because they don't get your situation, but you'll do other things with them, and you're just not going to get that type of support because they don't get it, and that's okay. That's just how some dynamics work. So be very careful of what you share, because you're just going to feel further gaslit. It's not because they're a bad person, it's just because they're uneducated and you can't share those things with them, and you need to protect yourself so you don't further fall into that hole and deal with that shame and that loneliness and that confusion. So that's the first thing, is stop seeking support and validation from these type of people, because you're not going to get it. Instead, you want to surround yourself around people that they don't necessarily have to get it, but they need to at least be empathetic of, expressing their support, and they understand they don't get it. It's not like everyone you surround yourself around has to understand fully and get it, because we all go through different experiences where we're not going to fully get it. I'm not going to understand what it fully means to be a male. I'm never going to fully understand it. I can sympathize and empathize, but I can't get it. So same thing is that everyone's going to go through different things where they're not going to fully get it. Chronic illnesses, injuries, dealing with narcissists. There's different individual situations people are not going to get it. So it's not that someone has to fully get it, but you want to know that you can open up and they're going to hear you out and not talk badly about you or question what you're saying, or say things that further get you into that hole of feeling bad. And also, being around warm, empathetic people can really uplift your spirits and make you feel better, knowing that there's loving people out there and it's not just this darkness and all these energy vampires in the world. And then the last thing is, join groups. Those are so helpful. Join narcissistic support groups. There's a whole Reddit forum. Join a forum where they do get it, where they can share their stories. If you're looking for advice, they can give you advice, all those things. They get it. They really get it. And you also have to understand What's good about these forums is that there are people on there that still will hold you accountable. So some people, they get scared of, you know, getting too much support and they're not able to like recognize themselves and where they're in the wrong. It's still important to hold yourself accountable, because we as humans, it's not like we're just the victim and we can't improve and grow in situations. We absolutely can. It's a matter of showing that support of like, I get it, I get how bad and rough it is in these situations. Also, you know, be careful how you handle the situation, because you're gonna further put yourself into a hole if you handle it like this. So, you know, those are the type of people that you want to be around, where they're able to fully acknowledge and validate how bad a situation is or the person you're dealing with, but they also are able to be like, hey, you know, in the future, this is how you can maybe handle it better. So if you are someone that's experiencing this loneliness, I just want you to know you're not alone. You're not crazy. This stuff is so difficult and tough to deal with, and a lot of people aren't going to get it, and you just have to accept. That's the shitty part, is that not everyone's going to get it. And I mean, it's partially a good thing they don't get it because they didn't experience it, but it's bad on your part because you have to be the one that has to endure it. So hold on, look for the support where you need it, whether it's therapists, you know, other people that get it, what have you. Whatever you need, give yourself that need. I hope this helps. So what do you guys think? Leave it on the comments below, and please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with someone that you think may need it. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye guys. Hey guys. There's a frog in my throat. Bo, don't hit the, no, Bo, please. One hit is all it's gonna take. Her bumping into one of the lights, and it's, the whole place is gonna go in flames. Not really, I'm over exaggerating, but the lights are gonna fall.